You won't believe this. Her dad is actually a gay man. She told Andy her dad said Mr. Simon is gay. Andy was totally baffled. Coincidentally, Jansen overheard. Andy and Stanley had to choose a theme for their graduation project. In a book that Mr. Simon gave to Stanley, there was an essay about anti-bias. Stanley thought that bias could mean many different things to people. Tolerance is key to solving bias and discrimination. During their conversation, Andy seemed to be shedding her biases and slowly integrating into this group. She felt confused and didn't know how to react. That night, seeing her dad lecturing her like he was in a courtroom, Andy desperately went to her mom and asked her a burning question. The mother, upon hearing the question, broke into a chuckle, turned off the TV, and sat beside Andy to start asking questions. Noticing Anna's anxiety, her mom didn't press too hard, just reminiscing about her own wild youth and giving some advice until Andy finally asked about the questions she heard earlier that day, which surprised her mom a bit. After all, it's a loaded topic. Under her mom's persistent questioning, Andy eventually spilled the tea about all the school gossip to her parents. Both parents were on high alert. Dad couldn't tolerate a gay man teaching his child and definitely wanted him. Children in the presence of their mothers must never be taught by a homosexual in order to avoid any irreversible and catastrophic consequences. That's parental negligence. Mom thought it was hearsay, insisting Mr. Simon was the school's best teacher. The parents argued heatedly, yet Andy, unaware of traditional gender roles, didn't hear it. Mom just explained to Andy that being gay was simply when one dude has special feelings for another dude, and she assured Andy it had nothing to do with Mr. Simon's character. She firmly believed he was the best teacher she'd ever seen. Rumors spread quickly. The rumor spread across campus, and Jansen's dad was first to confront the principal. Facing J.R. Venomous accusations, the principal took it seriously given Mr. Simon's fate was at stake. She hoped Jansen's dad would provide evidence. As a 12-year colleague, the principal trusted Mr. Simon and, to her recollection, he never misbehaved. But such explanations weren't reassuring enough. Clearly, it wouldn't satisfy Jansen's dad. He gave the principal 2 days. If not resolved, she'd expose it. Meanwhile, Andy was anxious about her date with Mary. She needed to figure out how she suddenly became so attractive to men. How did Mary, the prettiest in school, suddenly find him appealing? Dating her needed insight, or had be embarrassed. So, she sought out the elites of the school to gain a social bracelet, which was basically the invisible badge of social rules at school. Popular kids, athletic stars, overachievers, and outcasts, see these were school labels. Andy paid 3 limited edition cards for the right one. Given the threatening behavior of Jansen's father, Evelyn was compelled to seek out Mr. Simon. Based on their years of working together, she had always had complete trust in his character. However, the current rumors were causing significant disruption throughout the school. Evelyn needed to get the scoop regarding these allegations. Mr. Simon neither confirmed nor denied anything at all. Evelyn began to display signs of anxiety. All she had in her heart was the hope that Simon would refute it. She figured she would handle the rest, but still, Mr. Simon didn't respond, leaving her hanging on this unsettling silence. Now 57, she had spent most of her life teaching. She wouldn't compromise her integrity for Jansen or her parents. Now, the school was buzzing with 2 hot topics, Mr. Simon's situation and Andy's date with Mary. Gossip spread like wildfire. The rate of gossip was practically unheard of. However, the most fuming of all was Lisa, who boldly declared she'd hunt down Andy for revenge. This left Andy feeling a bit uneasy. On one rainy night, Evelyn decided to visit Jansen's school. On another rainy night, she showed up at Jansen's house, hoping to convince his father. Mr. Simon had years of teaching and numerous awards. Evelyn wouldn't give up on such an exceptional educator, but the couple was convinced that, since Mr. Simon hadn't denied the allegations, the child's education posed a risk. They didn't doubt Mr. Simon's teaching abilities, but Dad was resolute about not dropping the accusation. Faced with this, Evelyn grew emotional. Are you really worried that something terrible might happen to him? You think he might end up like a good guy such as Mr. Simon? I'm not saying my son did anything wrong. When it comes to that girl, I laid down the law. But he's just a kid. He barely knows what's right and wrong. I can't change the world, but I beg you, reconsider this. We're talking about the kids in our community. You can make the best decisions for them. You know him better. You know he's a good person. No, I can't say for certain whether he's gay, and honestly, I don't care. But I believe society cares. They won't tolerate misjudging him. Meanwhile, Andy had a question stuck in her mind. If this issue isn't resolved, will Mr. Simon be out of a job? Dad was still steadfast, wanting everything in a neat little order. Every problem had to be tackled one step at a time. But Mom was more open-minded. After all, Mr. Simon's case was still just gossip, and until something was firmly investigated, it was all just talk. As for Janssen's parents, they weren't planning to drop the accusations. They had their own moral code to uphold. But Mr. Simon still hadn't responded, putting Evelyn in a bind. As the county's first female principal, she cared about the school's reputation. Simon understood Evelyn as well. "Don't let this happen. Please, Simon, just say no."